Hi, my name is Abdulaziz. I'm team co-lead with Avi on Team 21, and my main role in this project was more of a front-end developer slash UI designer. Me and Luca, we created a Figma page and started designing all the pages for the developer journal we're making. Luca's gonna talk more in depth about the colors and the things that we've chosen in this design. My main role in the programming side of things was that I created this settings pop-up that the user can choose between light and dark mode, and this setting persists between different pages. We have the functionality for choosing the time zone so that the tasks can display that you're in the correct time zone. We just haven't fully implemented it yet, so the last step that we would be doing for improving this project would be implementing the time zone chooser. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Paul Yulai from Team 21. I mainly work on Figma design. The thing I'm proud of is I came up with this design with a really good grouping of each component along with a little tutorial documentation for Figma in Slack. So my team member are able to get the attribute for each component easy when implementing the code. I also implement the setting feature with Aziz in the second sprint. So we do the toggle color theme functionality together. I have also handled some bugs and website style fixing, as well as the minimize sidebar transition on each page. One thing I think we could improve is that we should come up with the roadmap diagram for the team since there's some ambiguity for a button or the page. So I think a roadmap along with the Figma design should be able to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Hello, my name is Stefan. As one of the backend developers for Team 21, my responsibility was to create the CRUD functionality for the task list feature of our dev journal. During the first sprint, I ended up implementing a temporary UI in addition to the CRUD feature, so I could more easily test my code before the design was finalized. During the second sprint, I helped finish the CI/CD pipeline, enforcing that tests are passed. I also wrote a pre-commit hook to prevent users from pushing to the source folder in main. And I also wrote end-to-end testing for the task list. The only thing I wished I did better was write the CRUD functionalities with unit tests in mind. As it stands, we do not have unit tests because all of our functions take HTML elements as parameters. I couldn't find a reasonable way to write these tests without breaking Puppeteer. But overall, I'm pleased with the result and all of our team's efforts. On to the next person.
My name is Diego Marquez, and I was on Team 21 as a front-end developer. My main contribution to the project was working on the styling and UI of the task list page, and I worked alongside the two designers that we had on our team to bring our Figma design to life, making sure everything looks exactly how we had on our Figma. And what I think I could have done better on the project for sure is definitely contributed more to perhaps the back end and have written more tests.
My name is Drew Petrovali. At the beginning of the project, I was started on working on the CI/CD pipeline where I helped design it and I made the diagram for it. And then after that, during actual development, I was in the backend team where I was primarily responsible for the task list page as well as the task section of the homepage. So I did most of the backends for that, including like all the local storage and linking the two pages as well as priority stuff. Tried working on some service workers and progressive web app stuff as well.
Hi, for Team 21, my contributions were to the front end part of the entries page. I worked on the main entries page as well as making the scrollable entries page part of the page. And I included the pop-up for adding a new entry as well as editing an entry, as well as fixing the markdown formatting.
Hello, I'm Sierra Myers and I worked on the calendar page functionality. I'm most proud of displaying tasks onto the table beside the calendar, which was the most difficult of what I worked on in terms of writing modular, non-repetitive code that gets the correct task for each day of the week and displays it in the right height, width, and location on the table. And I also worked on displaying the upcoming tasks for the calendar. Beyond this class, I think I could improve by doing more frequent commits to my branch instead of doing more work on my local branch and having fewer commits with larger updates so that people can see my progress more clearly.
My name is Peter, and I was part of the front-end UI team where I was responsible for the UI of this calendar page as well as this interactive calendar right here. On this page specifically, I helped with the Figma designing and implementing all of the components here. I also implemented some end-to-end testing with Jest and Puppeteer. I was also responsible for kind of the brainstorming and documenting a lot of our design choices when it came to code climate issues with the functions here, as well as the calendar structure using HTML tables, where I documented my choices through ADRs. Outside of the calendar, I also extended my efforts by leading some of the front-end meetings. I created the entire front-end Markdown documentation here for all the pages. I was also responsible for designing some of the light mode design schemes. I'm also implementing the dark mode schemes for a majority of the pages here. And I also created an ADR for implementing a sandbox, a progressive web app version of our page.
Hi, I'm Yua, and I worked on implementing the backend for the entries feature. So basically just adding, rendering, editing, and deleting entries. I'm proud of the design choices I made for the functions mostly. I think that it was all pretty uncoupled, which made it easy to test and modify everything when necessary. What I could improve is probably my time management. I had a lot of classes, I didn't adequately prepare, so there was just not as much I could do because of that.
Hello, I'm Kane Lee, and my job on the team was setting up the HTML and CSS on the homepage to make it accessible, nice looking, and responsive. I also set up the UI and the functionality of the nav bar, implemented task coverage from code climate in the CI/CD pipeline, and wrote end-to-end tests for the homepage and nav bar. Future improvements I'd like to see is calendar functionality and improved fade out on the dark mode.
Hi, my name is Yijie, and I'm responsible for the labeling related features in our project. I also refined our backend script comments and managing the documents. Also, I sometimes go fix some bugs, and if other people don't have time for that, I am proud of that I have some meaningful contributions to our project, even if I'm not doing very code heavy works. But I think I should be more bravely to do those heavier and harder code works in the future, which can ease my imposter syndrome.
And finally, hi, I'm Avigna Kukreja. I am the other team lead of Team 9+10. For what I worked on, I mostly do all the editing for the videos. As a team lead, I often lead the backend team. I also deal with a lot of conflicts due to people not knowing what is what, so I mostly do management of the code. Such as improving the quality of code and making sure that all the quality is correct, as well as connecting any front back-end issues. I also do a lot of merge error fixes, as well as I did some work on the calendar when needed. Alright, so now I shall give you a tour of the repository that we currently have. The main part of the repository that you have to care about is the source folder. It has 5 subfolders in it. Assets are for the images and other components needed. Components are for HTML components written in JS. Pages are used for the actual HTML pages. Scripts are for the other scripts that are used inside the pages themselves, and styles is for the .css files. The thing that you want to mainly pay attention to when you want to make any changes is go to Team Project Planning right over here. This will have all of the to-dos, in progresses, and dones for the project, anything that needs to be finished. Let's just add a temporary to-do just to demonstrate our process. So we add a task, we give it values such as in progress, we can assign it people, give it priority. Then we convert it into an issue, which is the main bit. That's how we can add comments to the issue, and finally we can create a branch out of it, and now we shall update the README. Now this isn't changing any code, however, it will still run the pipeline, which is what I am trying to show here. So now let's quickly hurry over to here, where we have pending processes. So here are the 3 processes that are just run only when you're pushing to the, just doing a simple push. All that happens is it lints the codes, it runs tests, and generates JS docs. While it's doing that, let's actually quickly run over here to the tests section. We have ETE tests for the calendar. We have ETE tests for the home page. We have ETE tests for the navigation bar, and we have a task list ETE tests. It will actually do all of the additional checks. It will do code climate, making sure that the code is A-OK. We have code climate enabled as well in our GitHub CI/CD pipeline. Code climate, we have changed some of the code climate values. as listed here in the codeclimate.yml. For in-depth explanation, check the ADRs. Yes, so that's basically what it's doing, just generating the JS docs, testing for thing, and testing the code base, as well as linting it to make sure that all the code is the same quality standard. Now let's have a look at our Slack. So we have a daily update channel. However, we had started doing the daily updates a little too late. And also, most of the daily updates we gave in person, as if I scroll up, you can see that I send a Zoom link and ping for when the stand-ups will be done. We did stand-ups roughly twice or thrice per week, so one in every couple of days. I'll now talk about the agile processes that we used. When it comes to design, we did a proper design, test, write, and then reiterate. Similar to the waterfall process of Agile. We also did the standard Agile sprints, retrospectives, reviews, and we treated them very seriously. We did not slack off on them. We did them properly. The main Agile process that we did not do so well is unit testing, because it's just that we had trouble actually implementing unit testing because it either returned HTML elements or used HTML elements or interacted with a DOM in some way. So unit testing just seemed too unreasonable compared to EDE testing. So you mainly focus on EDE testing, but a future team should try to implement unit testing as best as they can. For what future teams should do next, there are still a couple of issues here and to-dos left in the project page. So I think that's the best place to start. There's a couple of things. First off, there is a current bug with entries that when you edit it and you change the date, it actually creates a copy. There's another, we have also made a time zone thing here, but we're not using it as there is no purpose for it. Tasks on the calendar, if there are two colliding tasks, there's no actual collision code for it yet. As well as general things such as implementation, taking tasks straight from issues from GitHub would be a good idea to do. As well as doing Google integration so that you can store your tasks and have it dynamically saved to the cloud would also be a great next step.